All right, hi everyone. I'm back with a video. I'm going to be reviewing an album, uh, and I'm really excited for this album because I've been waiting for this album for about a year now. I've been waiting for it to happen. I've been really excited for it since January when the first single came out. If you all don't know what I'm talking about, I'll get to it soon, but I've already given some hints. It's a really good album. I'm so excited to be doing this. And it is Zayn Malik, from formerly of One Direction. His solo debut album just came out called Mind of Mine, and it's great. I really enjoyed this album. You can tell he spent a lot of time on it. Um, so I guess I'll start out first by saying, before I really get into the album and get into just talking about the different songs and stuff and just my sort of overall review on it, I'll start out by saying that for me, Zayn was my favorite member of One Direction, and I never really listened to a One Direction album. Of course, I knew who they were. I've listened to songs by them. I have a few of their songs on my iPod, but I was never like a One Direction fan. I knew who they were. I respected what they did, but they weren't really for me. But I always wanted to. For me, Zayn was my favorite. He's the most talented. He had my favorite voice in the group. So I was just I was just waiting for the time when the group kind of broke apart like they always do, and they went and did their own things, because I just wanted to see what Zayn could do by himself. Because for me, it felt like the group was kind of holding him back, and he sort of said that in a few interviews, that it was holding him back from doing what he wanted to do, and showing off his actual strengths in terms of music. And just hearing him talk about music and his um, influences and stuff, it really made me excited to hear from him, because a lot of his influences are rooted in like R&B. And so I was really excited. He comes out with this album, and his voice sounds fantastic. I again, I've always liked his voice, but I never really knew that he could do some of these things with his voice. There were some points where it's like I really could hear like the Chris Brown influences, uh, but there are other points where it's like in um, the slower, more ballad songs, the ballads. I heard sort of like some John Legend subtleties in there, um, that I really was surprised by and really shocked, but I still like for it because I really love John Legend. And to hear that in his voice was really surprising, and I was taken back by it because I just wasn't ready for that, you know. But he just sounds so good. Um, there's 18 songs, like I said. Uh, More than likely, you'll find something that you like on this album, because it's not like it spans a bunch of different genres, but it's just every song is different. Um, I like the transitions between a lot of the songs really flow into each other. It really is like kind of a smooth, chill, laid back type of flavor that this album takes on. Um, you could just kind of just sit around, just listen to it, and um, it's just kind of just chill. You know, um, let's see. The intro, "Mind of Mine," uh, it's great. It's really pretty. I like the intro a lot. My favorite songs right now, and I'm sure it's going to change because the album is, as a whole, is super solid, and everything is really good on the album. That's why I said you could tell that you took a lot of time on it, because everything, it's a very cohesive album, and there's not one bad song. But my favorites right now are Before, She, Fool for You, and Like I Would. But I also really enjoy Drunk. I enjoy Rear View. I like She She Don't Know, or not She Don't Know, She Don't Love Me, which is the closing track, and it's a really great way to close out the album. Um, just so many great songs. Borders, Truth, um, Bright and Blue kind of go right hand in hand with each other. Um, Wrong. There's only one feature on the album, and that's Wrong. And it features Kalani. I'm not really familiar with her solo work. I know who the person is, but I'm not familiar with her solo work. And I might check her out after hearing this Wrong song because I like them both on it together. They sounded really good together. Um, the intermission is Flower. That was really nice to hear. Honestly, to be honest, the weakest track on the album for me is Pillow Talk, his first single, and that's not saying Pillow Talk is a bad or song because it's not. It's a really good song, um, and no, there's not a bad song on the album, but for me, the rest of the album is just so good that Pillow Talk has to be just the weakest song. And honestly, like that says a lot because Pillow Talk did just recently go number one, and it got great reviews. So knowing that that's just um, I believe it got great reviews. Did it get great reviews? I feel like it did. Um, from what I've seen, it got great reviews, but otherwise it's great. I really want to see how it does in terms of sales. I think it's going to do great and great numbers. um, for me, it's the most cohesive and the best mainstream album that's been released um, this year. um, and it's going to take a lot for anybody to sort of overtake it unless Beyonce comes over and really hits it out of the park, in which case she's got it. And I'm waiting for that. But this isn't about Beyonce. This is about Zayn, who is having his Beyonce moment, his Justin Timberlake moment, his um, who else? Who else has had moments like this? Are they the only two from groups that have had moments like this? I think so. Bobby Brown, his moment like them. Um, this is his moment where he's the solo artist from the group who has his big breakout moment, and I'm so happy for him. I'm really excited for him. I think he's going to be around for a long time and do some great things with music, and I'm just so excited. This album was great. I'm going to buy it. This is like I'm going to buy this like now. Um, I can't say anything else about it. Otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting here for like 15 more minutes talking about how great the album is because it's so great. The only issue that I have with it, and I'm sure he's probably talked about it in some sort of interview, but just the way that the titles of the songs, how it's written, for me, the way the songs are, the titles is just very strange, and that's very being very very nitpicky, and it doesn't really change how the song sounds. It's just the way it's written, um, but it's different, so it really catches your eye. Other than that, I can't say anything else. It's just so good. Um, I'm not sure what the album cover is about. Again, I'll have to look at some of his interviews about this album just to really see like his reasoning behind the capital and lowercase letters in each of the words, and the baby picture of him with tattoos on his hands. I'll have to see what, maybe it's kind of like a transition from boy to man. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I'll have to look at his interviews just to see what that's all about because I'm interested in that. But otherwise, it's a great album. I suggest everyone go listen to it and buy it. It's not, I mean, I know people already are going to go out and buy it and listen to it because he's Zayn and it's been highly anticipated. But if you were kind of on the rocks and you were a fan of One Direction, or you were kind of on the rocks and you like Pillow Talk, but you're not really sure if you should listen to it, I really do suggest you go listen to this album because it's really, really, really good. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say. Um, Great job, Zayn, and I'm ready to hear more from you for sure. So yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye.